A pleasant day to everyone. Am I audible on my end? Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so maybe we can start our fourth module. So, wishing everyone a great day ahead of you. We are on the fourth module, and that means you are past halfway through for the Asia Pacific Mayors Academy this 2026 implementation. And the module 4 looks into urban resilience. So we have two dates for July that you need to look into. The first one is today, 7th of July, and then the next one is the 21st of July. So let me just take this opportunity to actually look into the fourth module. Can I ask for the next slide, please? Okay, so we are coming from the Department of Community and Environmental Resource Planning of the College of Human Ecology at UP Los Baños. UP is the only member university for the Asia Pacific Green Universities Network. And as co-organizers, we are dealing with the fourth module, which is talking about urban resilience. Today, we will be looking into module 4A. Next slide, please. Which deals with building institutional resilience. So talking about a few on resilience theory and practice, community resilience assessment, institutional and community resilience, and then for the 21st of July, we will be looking into climate change and urban infrastructure resilience, nature-based solutions for climate adaptation, and local climate actions. So it's good that our mayor participants are coming in. So very much welcome. Okay. So may I ask our mayor participants what you had for breakfast? So get chatted in the chat box so that we know the local delicacies, if ever, from your respective countries or your favorites, perhaps. That's talking about resilience, human resilience here. Come on, put it on. Even our other participants from partners coming from APRO, UN Habitat, kindly key in your breakfast item for today before we continue as others are still coming in. For my end, it is dried fish. We call it danggit. I am in another island here in the Philippines. So we call it Guimaras, the mango capital of the Philippines. But I'm missing the mango for now. Okay, so we have champorado, chocolate porridge, also from the Philippines, with Dr. F, one of our facilitators as well for today. Okay, I'm seeing yogurt with fruits and granola. Okay. Oats and banana. Okay. So please key in your food items so that we will be hungry, not just for knowledge, but at the same time for food. Dinuguan. So that is blood stew, pork blood stew. So very nice. Okay, so let me just continue. Next slide, please. Okay, for the learning objectives for the fourth module, by the end of this module, you should be able to explain why urban resilience is a prevailing and important goal in your city. Identify your community's assets and provide your own operational definition of urban resilience and challenge the current status quo in practice and discuss opportunities for transformative resilience and sustainability for your city. So basically, what we're going to learn here, no, or maybe refresh your ideas of what the evolving concept of resilience is, how can this be used as a strategy, especially on the current complex issues and concern related to climate change, disasters that we are facing now. So hopefully at the end of this module, your final project as mayor participants will have the lens of urban resilience on your strategies, perhaps. So we will try to help you out through this particular module. Next slide, please. Okay, so I think that this is an opportune time for us to have a short group photo session. May I ask our secretariat to help me out? All those that are still off camera, can you kindly turn on your camera so that we can capture this moment with your presence? I think we are graced with our mayor participants with us. Yes, waiting. Waiting for others. If you can still turn on your cameras, please. Thank you very much. That would be great. Can I ask Song to do the countdown so that we can get the photos?
Great. So I can do the countdown, and yeah, please, Abigail, you can do the screenshot and share with us the photos. Okay.
Okay.
So let's count down. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Do you need another one?
Okay, let me just try if I get it
Okay.
properly. So I think I got it. Yeah, that's great.
Great, great. Thank you, partners, colleagues,
So
and
we'll be
mayors.
sharing the photo later on. Okay. So to continue, this is our schedule for today's activity. So we'll start with the introduction of the fourth module, and then eventually looking into some preliminaries, opening preliminaries, and then eventually looking into an interactive game. So hope everyone will be participating because this will be a great input for our next session, which is about resilience theory. And then after which, we'll be looking into another lecture on building and institutionalizing resilience, and then your mini assignment on the first glance challenge. And then we will be capping that up with some announcements for the module 4B. Okay, so I think are ready for some preliminary opening message coming from Kurt. Let me just read uh, the citation. So may I first hear um, our mayor participants who's here kindly show our heart reaction. How many are we in total for now? So I'm seeing the mayor from Makati City is here. Iloilo City, Indonesia, Kendari City is also here. Nepal, Parekot, Beer. Okay. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Iloilo City, City of Bacoor, Lapu-Lapu City, Municipality of Pilar is also here already. Okay, am I missing still? Pakistan is also here. Okay, so I think we're ready. Yeah, thank you for the heart from Lapu-Lapu City. Okay, so may I call in our chief for Sustainable Urban Development section at UN ESCAP to provide us very short and sweet opening remarks for this fourth module. Bert, take it away.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, thank you so much. And welcome to all honorable mayors to Module 4 of the Academy, which focuses, as you've already heard, on building urban resilience. I want to thank our Academy partners, especially UN Habitat, the Association of Pacific Rim Universities, and faculty from University of Los Baños, of Philippines, Los Baños, and colleagues for organizing this session. Mayors, I hope that you are seeing over the course of the Academy the wealth of expertise and resources that have been brought to this initiative to support you. But as you know, the success of the program really depends on your continued active engagement and sharing your experiences, as well as your challenges with your peers and the faculty. We do know that one of the main challenges that's common to all of the mayors here is the issue of resilience and shocks and stresses. The issue of urban resilience is becoming much more essential, as cities and urban areas often see the most extreme effects of climate change and those relevant shocks and stresses, whether they be increasingly severe and more frequent impacts such as typhoons and floods, extreme heat, or other natural disasters such as earthquakes. But while the focus may be really on environmental issues, communities must take a broader view of resilience so that they can respond as well to other shocks and stresses, such as economic downturns, or as we all experience, the impacts of the pandemic. Resilient communities consider all of these factors, environmental, economic, and social, and the role of a mayor and local leadership is to prepare the community, not just government agencies, to respond accordingly. Adaptation measures and emergency preparedness for environmental risks is one component. Ensuring business continuity, diversifying economies, and strengthening local supply chains for economic disruptions, as well as building community awareness, health planning, and education are just some of the other measures required to build resilience. And at the same time, designing and delivering urban services in an efficient and sustainable manner is at the core of city responsibilities. In recent years, one of the most important priorities for all entities, whether they be cities, national governments, private sector, or other institutions, has been to reduce risks and protect assets, especially in the context of shrinking resources and competing investments. For cities, that means developing policies and planning infrastructure that enhance the community's resilience, reduce the vulnerabilities of citizens, and provide certainty for investments in infrastructure. It also means looking at your city in a much more holistic way. Some questions you might pose include, how resilient is your solid waste management system? Will waste float away in a flood, creating new problems in stormwater management? And how do you ensure that that waste does not become a wicked problem, outpacing a city's ability to manage it? Many communities spend almost half of their municipal budget on solid waste through collection, transport, disposal, and they cannot build economic resilience if such disruptions are part of their ordinary day-to-day urban experience. How secure is your information technology system? Are your services reliant on a system that might face disruption from power outages or maybe in the future online attacks? How do you ensure that schools and housing and businesses are not located in risk-prone areas? How do you ensure that your community is growing in alignment with the natural resources that it has available to it, specifically water resources, to avoid future water stress or scarcity and potential land subsidence? How do you incorporate nature-based solutions in public and private improvements? And how do you protect the most marginalized populations? As you approach this module, please consider a personal foresight exercise. Imagining the communities that you envision during your terms and beyond, and the many disruptions that could threaten that vision. What can you do to plan and prepare now? And remember that resilience must be built by a community and not only by government officials. You are essential leaders in that process, and the decisions you make will be critical. You cannot predict a future crisis or its nature, but you can often avoid them and be well prepared for when they do occur. I would like to remind you that one of the requirements of the Academy, in addition to joining the module sessions, is to develop a local initiative. And there's been recent communication to the class on the format and structure of those submissions. But one of the most important elements of those initiatives will be how resilient they are. We hope that you'll consider the learnings of all the modules as you develop your initiative, but especially pay attention to how they enhance the resilience of your community. It will be a key element of building support and accessing finance for those initiatives. So I wish you all a good session, and again, thank our partners for their continued support. Edgar, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Very well said. And let me just also recognize our partners here. Building resilient communities entails good partnership. We have ESCAP, of course. Can everyone give a virtual round of applause for ESCAP? UN Habitat, and of course, we have our APRU, Asia Pacific Rim University family. So hoping that this particular cohort in 2026 will be our good examples of how we can forward resilience building at the community lens. With that, maybe we can continue with our activities. So we will be starting with an interactive game for everyone to experience firsthand how decisions can actually impact our resilience building. So can we see the next slide? This particular part will be moderated by yours truly. I am Dr. Edgar Reyes Jr., an environmental planner from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Together with me is Dr. Efrain T. Rojas, also an environmental planner from the same department. So as part of this, next slide, please. Let me just share to you what we need to do. So as moderators, I think we are graced by 8 mayor participants. So we will be dividing you into subgroups later on. Our secretariat will be assigning it to your subgroups. So we have this game from UNDRR, and this is named Stop Disasters. So a game to empower the next generation. So next slide, please. Just a short overview. For the instructions, the class will be divided into 2 groups with 3 to 4 members each team and will be facilitated by us. So you can just call me Ed, and then the other group for Sir F as F. And then the goal of the game is, of course, to stop disasters. So we don't want that to happen to our respective areas. So in the scenario that will be provided to you, you need to communicate to us, to F and to Ed, the decisions that you need to do on a given fund and on a time that is assigned to you. At the end of the game, we will be providing you the results, and then the eventual lessons to talk about what has the experience been for each and every mayor participants. Next slide, please. So this is how it will look inside the platform. So as you go to the subgroups, we will be choosing this one. So your moderators will be playing a bit of a god on this particular. We will surprise you because we don't know what kind of hazards we have, or what kind of disaster that will struck our places. So it's a surprise for us. Next slide, please. And you will be faced with a certain amount of funding or resources, be it people, financial, and at the same time, the time. Okay, next slide. And then you have to do several tasks, which we will be explaining to you later on the subgroup, for you to be able to build a resilient community. Next slide, please. And from that end, this is the actual platform. You'll be seeing the different scenario from the platform that you're working with, and decisions will be made by our mayor participants and other participants who wish to join the subgroups. Next slide, please. And then there are some updates for us to be geared with information from every decisions that we make. So hoping that this will be an additional information for everyone when it comes to decisions and when it comes to resilience building. Next slide, please. And of course, this will be the eventual result. We will be providing you a different update on the result from the decisions that you made. And then eventually, the last slide, we'll be talking about the different aspects related to your experience and then the eventual learning points or guide that we can generate from the activity that we do. Okay, so is everyone excited for the activity? This will be rather short, no, around 20 minutes for everyone. So I think our breakout rooms are ready. No? I think we are to be assigned to the breakout rooms. So again, the first group will be from F's end, no? And then the other one will be for my end. So, okay.
Yes, so colleagues, mayors, I have assigned you to different rooms, and please feel free to join. And for other colleagues and partners, please also feel free to join any room that they would like to.
I'm sorry, Mayor Cindy, we got cut off, but you were saying how useful potentially for the city of Lapu-Lapu the game was. And thank you very much for that feedback.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think we're back. And I'm very happy that everyone was able to at least participate. No, there are lots of insights. There are lots of stories that we can look into, and we can still play and make use of that game for us to be able to get ready, no, perhaps, no, or at least learn, no, from the different strategies they're in that we can make use of when it comes to the different forms of hazards or risks that is there in our area. So we've asked these questions, I think, in our respective group, no? So what were the immediate results of the game? No, for our group, unfortunately, we failed. For that particular exercise, what we did was to make use of earthquake, no, as the hazard, no, in the particular area, and then I challenged the mayors, no, to make use of the hard scenario wherein which they are faced with very limited budget, no, and very little time, no, to do so. Okay, so may I know the perspective on the other group? What was the scenario that was given, Doc F?
Yeah, so for our group, we did a Southeast Asian scenario, the tsunami of a
Okay.
uh, coastal city. We chose the medium
Mm-hmm.
difficulty, no, with uh, still limited, but actually limited time, but actually quite adequate resources as we found out. No,
Mm-hmm.
we were glaring success. No,
Okay,
in terms of
that's
our
great.
decision making. No, I think the group worked well, and know the mayors know the idea of tsunami and how to better plan for it. I think, which helps a lot, no, in our decision making.
Okay, thank you very much. No, so there are varying results, no, for this particular group. No, but again, this is just a scenario game, and hopefully we are all successful. No, in reality, and there are still a lot of hazards that we can look into, like hurricane. There's also typhoon occurrence there. Some are maybe far flung for others, but I think for those mayor participants from Nepal can also consider other scenario there that might be useful when it comes to decision making. So what were the main considerations as decision parameter by the group? Essentially, we looked into our resources. So again, we highlight not just the financial resources, but at the same time, the human resources, no, and the technical capabilities of people to decide. No? So the experience of the group, no, at first I was creating decisions for them, no, but eventually, no, they provided information where should it be better put into, no. So the idea of a risk information floated, no? And when we put in the risk in our scenario, we were able to better decide, no, which areas should we focus on, which areas needing, no, additional attention. So what about for the other group, Doc F?
So for our group, the mayors are very much geographically aware. They have very good knowledge of geography. You know, when they heard the scenario of an impending tsunami hitting the city, they immediately thought about quote unquote safe places to build and develop. No, and then at the middle of the timeline, when I already clicked on the actual risk information, no, they validated themselves basically, no, and use that risk information to further make decisions. So I think uh, those are the main considerations, no, that the mayors took, no, when they were playing the game for a scenario.
Okay, so that's another resource, no, that we need to bank in. No? Technical information, technologies, there make use of those, no, for us to be able to decide better. So what were the easy parts of the game? of course, because we have identified resources, no, it's a lot easier for us, no, for deciding things. So as long as we know, no, the environment that we're working in, it would be a lot easier. The challenging part is that we don't really know when will the disaster strike. No? So there's always that part, that the uncertainty, no, of the future that we will be facing. No? So that's the challenging part on our group. General reflection, it was really a nice experience, no, for the mayor participants, and at the same time they learned some information, and more specifically, no, the risk information, no, as a baseline, no, in every decision point that they do, especially in disaster risk reduction management. How about on your group, Doc F?
Yeah, I think the mayor, Cynthia, was reflecting on how useful it is for the city of Lapu-Lapu, because it's a coastal or even an island city, no? And the game being sort of low stakes, no, is quite useful for education, uh, where we can learn more about the potential of disasters for our places. They also shared, we were also challenged by the fact that the disaster came unexpectedly. No, we just clicked on building one house and then the tsunami immediately came.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, so yeah, those are the things that we cannot, and we cannot predict. No, as much as we anticipate, no, we really don't know when will it happen. So again, thank you very much. So this is an enriching experience, and perhaps this will be strengthened, no, with more information when it comes to resilience building. And to give a short introduction to Doc F, no, he'll be providing us a short lecture on resilience theory. Efraim Rojas is an assistant professor at the Department of Community and Environmental Resource Planning of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. He finished his PhD in geography at Florida State University, where he looked at the critical vulnerability, community care practices, and resilience in post-disaster recovery. Over 18 years of experience, he leads impactful initiatives in environment and land use planning, climate resilience, and sustainable development through project implementation, strategic policy formulation, and analytical studies. He currently leads the Technical Assistance Program on Human Settlements. We call it TAP-HSP, the Bonner Public Service Program of the department at the College of Human Ecology, UPLP. It is the Agora Outstanding Extension Project in 2025. So he's a licensed environmental planner, and he wants to create cities and communities for his two boys, Arendelle and Elias, together with his wife, Jella. So let's create a better world together with Sir F. Go ahead, sir.
thank you very much, Dr. Edgar, for such kind introduction. Next slide, please. So for this afternoon, I am tasked very quickly to talk about resilience from the theoretical, academic background or context, no? But I will try to also put in a little bit of the practical implication, no, of what resilience is, no, particularly what resilience can be for us, no, as mayors and decision makers for our city, no. So can you go back one slide? Thank you. All right. So this is our question, no, for this afternoon. Why are we talking about resilience, no, for module 4B, no, of the Asia Pacific Mayors Academy, no? We are talking about resilience because we recognize, no, the reality of our world today, no. Everyone of us have the shared experience for example, of the global pandemic. No, we are constantly experiencing extreme weather events. No, large scale environmental disturbance. No, like wildfires. No, massive flooding. No, and the question for us, particularly for the mayors with us today, is how do we sustain, no? How do we sustain under increasing uncertainty, no, of disturbance in our communities? How do we make sure that we are moving towards sustainability or sustainable development of our communities and cities when there is always a impeding disaster or an impeding disturbance that comes our way? Sige, next slide, please. Next slide, please. I think we have, okay. One slide back, please. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So, and here we are presented with resilience as a new kind of thinking. No, so resilience, according to Carl Folk, no, has become part of our practice. No, even policy and business. No, and it has skipped, no, into all parts of our life. No, uh, but it is actually something new, no? So relatively a new conceptualization. It is a way for us to anticipate, no, and respond to change and crisis, no? Not only to survive but also to evolve. No, in the book Resilience Thinking by Brian Walker, no, and Salt, they talked about resilience thinking, no, as a improvement or as an evolution, no, of uh, ways of thinking, no, around how do we sustain ecosystems, no, how do we uh, make sure that improvements, no, in our communities and cities are really lasting, no, or sustainable. Next slide. I think there's a little bit of a slowdown in the technicals. Apologize. So when we talk about resilience, no, there are many types of resilience. No, the concept of resilience is quite broad. No, that it's important for us to understand. No, the many kinds of resilience that we can have. No, or that we have conceptualized. So we have community resilience. We have ecological resilience. No, we have infrastructural resilience, and we have economic resilience. And we'll try to look at these different conceptualizations together. Next slide, please. But first, a little bit of the general conceptualization. So when you look at C.S. Holling, the one who proposed the idea of ecological resilience, no, he differentiated, no, what is existing during that time, no, more of the engineering resilience concept. So this idea of the single state equilibrium, no, so engineering resilience is basically this idea of uh, maintaining. So if you have this metaphor, this basin, no? So engineering resilience is basically keeping the ball, which is the state that we are in, no, keeping the ball at the bottom of the basin. No, so engineering resilience is when there is disturbance. No, what you want to do is for the ball to go back to the original state. No, and the general theory here is that there's only one state. There's only a single state. If you want equilibrium, no, so equilibrium, you only have one state, and you always want to go back. So this idea of going back to the original or going back to a stable state. No. Meanwhile, C.S. Holling, no, in his theory of panarchy, talks about this idea of multiple states and non-equilibrium. No, so this idea that we don't have one single state, but actually, if you look at the ecosystem, the environment, no, there are actually multiple states, no, and this is the ecological resilience concept, no. It doesn't. The goal is not to keep the ball at the bottom, no, of the basin, no, but to keep it, no, in terms of going over a particular threshold, no, that will result in a undesirable regime, no. In C.S. Holling's theorization, he talks about this idea of shifting regime. No, there are changes in the environment. No, changes in how we do things that results in a shifting regime. No, which makes going over the threshold much easier. No, so here the idea of threshold is that limit. No, that limit in terms of shifting from one state to another. No, so in this photo example, if you look at the coral reef ecosystem, the coral reef ecosystem is dynamic. No, it can change from time to time, but there is a threshold. When you expand or extend beyond the threshold, then it will shift from a healthy coral ecosystem to a non-healthy coral ecosystem, and it's hard to go back, no, to the healthy ecosystem. No, so that's this idea of shifting regime. No, but it's also possible the other way around. No, which is the dynamic idea of the system. No, if you're in an undesirable regime, no, you can also have the potential to shift, no, to a desirable regime. So that's basically the idea of C.S. Holling, no, and this idea of ecological resilience concept. All right, next slide, please. Sorry. Right. So in the panarchy, C.S. Holling talks about this adaptive cycle, no, that again it's not linear, but actually this adaptive cycle, or what we call panarchy. No, so it's a series of cases. No, so from an R situation, no, which is the exploitation stage. No, so it's a period of rapid expansion. No, so for example, here in this photo, if you have a young forest, no, that's a relative situation where you have fertile ground, no, and you have room to grow, no, and the trees can grow, and then that will be followed by the conservation phase or the K phase, no, with slow accumulation and storage of energy, and then the materials are emphasized, no, as when population reaches a sort of carrying capacity. So this becomes the stable stage, no, the K or the conservation stage. But after that, no, the next one is the release stage. So when you have a stable system, the tendency there is that it will also lose some of its flexibility, no, and adaptation ability, no, and a disturbance can lead to a rapid decline, no, or a rapid destruction of that system. No? So there will be a release, and then that release will create a room for reorganization. No? So that's the fourth phase here, the alpha phase or the reorganization. So the reorganization occurs rapidly, no? Usually it creates opportunity, no, for some, no, but also devastating impact to others. So that's the adaptive cycle theory, no. Next slide, please. So in ecological resilience, you can see that, no. So young forest to a stable forest, and then you have forest fire, no, that will destroy it, no, and then you have new growth, no, after the forest fire. So the other kind of resilience we're talking about is the infrastructural resilience, no, and this one many of us have heard, no. So the idea of infrastructural resilience, no, is very much how do we make, no, our infrastructures, no, able to absorb, no, and be stable, no, in the midst of change, no, or a disturbance. So in urban planning, we often hear this idea of nature-based solutions or nature-based infrastructure, or yung idea ng sponge city, no, for example, no, where you have parks, no, and open spaces that are really designed, no, to experience flooding, but also serve as a mitigation, no, for flooding, no, and after that, no, it will bounce back, no, and return to its normal function as a parks and open space. So infrastructural resilience really focuses on how do we build infrastructures that are able to function amidst disturbances, no, and this idea of multifunctionality, no, so it functions as one, no, in a particular scenario, no, but also functions as mitigation measures, no, in terms of experiencing flooding event, no, and then it goes back, no, to functioning as a parks and open space later on. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, thank you very much. No, so earlier we talked about the adaptive cycle, no, in the context of the forest, right? So, young forest, mature forest, forest fire, and then having a renewed forest once again. No, here you can see that same adaptive cycle, no, at the city or region scale, no, and this one presents the adaptive cycle in the context of Detroit City, no, and its region, for example, no. So it talks about how Detroit, for example, in the 1931, no, was sort of in the exploitation phase. It has many resources to grow, no, and mature. It has low connectedness, no, but relatively high resilience, no, and that lead to growth, no, and improvement of the region, no, which brings it to the conservation phase or the K phase, where the city of Detroit is a global city. It's quite stable, no, but also having low resilience, no, because its flexibility, no, is quite low. And then they experience a economic downturn, no, and recession, which is the release phase, 1960 to 2000. The suburbanization have replaced, quote unquote, the city development, because the suburbs have been the focus of investment during that time. And this leads to the decline of the city, and the city center. And here, Sarah Mero was theorizing that the reorganization phase is sort of coming. If you look at Detroit now, you can see some of the initiatives there, that akin, to what we are looking at now, in terms of new urbanism, parks and open space, and all kinds of opportunity, for innovation, restructuring, and redevelopment. So that's the adaptive cycle, in urban resilience and regional concept. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, so
Sorry, may I just say that I can continue sharing the screen to see if it goes faster.
Yes,
I'd
thank you,
appreciate that.
Claudia. Yes, yeah, appreciate
Thank you,
that
Claudia.
because I might, yeah,
Okay,
I might
sorry for that.
be
Can you confirm that
curious in
you can
some.
see it?
It's loading. All right. Now I see it.
It's there? Okay. Thank you, Song, for showing them before. Let's see if it goes faster now.
Yeah, so hopefully we get a little bit seamless here. So the other concept of resilience that we will talk about this afternoon is economic resilience. So here it shows us the example of circular economy, or the cradle to cradle, wherein we position economic resilience towards innovation, and the need for a circular economy, for example, to build resilience of our economic system. So a lot of our economic issues and problems are often caused by the current, sort of linear, wasteful economic system that we are currently operating on, and thinking about it differently, in terms of innovation. If you think about both the biological and sort of the technical cycle, it helps, build economic resilience by relying less on limited resources, but also maximizing, the resource that we have already, for our economy. And we have some examples of this. Can you do the next slide, Claudia? Thank you. So it might not be Song's internet that's the problem. Maybe it's our PowerPoint, who is kind of slow in changing up.
Can the rest see the next slide? The case of community economic resilience?
Yes, I can see it here.
All right. Or maybe it is my internet. All right, now it's here.
Okay.
Maybe it's my internet that's the problem. Sorry. All right. So again, we have quite some examples of this, circular economy in practice, but also at the community level. So here we have some examples of, for example, election banners, being upcycled, and being used. So a community in Taiwan is reworking them, towards something quite useful like a bag, and that's also true practice here in the Philippines. So we have also a photo here of Pasig City, no, in Iloilo. I think we have the mayor of Iloilo City here, no, neighbors of Pasig City, and I think the city of Iloilo is also doing the same thing, no, upcycling some of the election materials, no, so that it won't get thrown into landfills or dump sites, but rather be used again, no. So those are good examples of community economic resilience. Next slide, please. So am I the only one getting delayed in the transition? Are everyone seeing it fast?
I'm seeing it already on my end.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'll just assume. So next slide is the urban resilience, no, in complex socio-ecological technological system, or what we call the sets, no. So here, what we're trying to look at is that when you talk about urban resilience, particularly in our cities, no, our mayors are working with their cities every time, no, and we should appreciate our cities as complex social, ecological, and technological systems. No, we should see them as sort of an interaction, not just of the environment or the ecological system, no, but an interaction of the social, no, as well as the technological system. So seeing our cities, no, and municipalities as complex socio-ecological systems allow us to think about resilience, no, in terms of this idea of community resilience or nature-based solutions, no, and even climate justice, no, which is the interaction between these socio-ecological and technological systems. Next slide, please. So the question for us is how do we build urban resilience? And here we are presented with the 5 W's, no? The questions to consider when we are trying to operationalize urban resilience. So the first question, I think, is probably the most important question, no? The question of who. No? Who determines what is desirable for an urban system? Whose resilience is prioritized, no, and who is included or excluded from urban system. So here, we want to pay particular attention to the different communities, no, different sectors that are part of our urban system, and it's important for us to highlight, no, and ask who will benefit, no, from the resilience that we are trying to build. So here we make sure that those marginalized members of our society are paid utmost attention, no. So the other question is the what, no. So just like in the game, we want to be specific, no. What are we building resilience for, no? So are we building resilience for a specific hazard, no, or a specific sector of our urban system, no? Are we building general resilience or just economic resilience or just disaster resilience, no? And then we have the question of when, no. When is basically the temporal, no, the time question, no. So for mayors, this is a common question in terms of, do we prioritize short-term gains, no, short-term benefits over long-term goals, no. So that's an important aspect that we need to talk about when we operational resilience. So do we want to be resilient now and then be at risk in the future, or do you want to balance, no, this question? And then there's the question of where, no. So the geography of resilience, as we want to call it, no? So are we prioritizing resilience of one place over the other? No? So are we making sure our population, for example, no, is resilience, and then forgetting about our more rural communities? No? Or are we doing the opposite? No? So we need to talk about the where. No? What are the limits or the spatial boundaries, no, of our resilience building goals, no, and ultimately, no, so that we will not get tired easily, no, we need to ask the question why, no, what is the goal of building urban resilience? Are we thinking about resilience for resilience sake? No, is resilience the end goal, or are we doing resilience work because we know that resilience is an important component of sustainability or sustainable development, or even improving the quality of life, no, of our uh, communities and residents? So what's the focus, no, of our resilience activity, and what is motivating, no, our resilience work? Next slide, please. So
Thank you, Dr. Fred. May I kindly remind you to also, as we are running little bit late of the schedule, can I kindly also ask you to speed up a little bit? Thank you.
Yes. So sorry for that. So the resilience work, no, is often inspired by actual events. So here we just show the Katrina disaster in the United States. No, again, it posts, next slide please. It posts these questions of who determines what kinds of resilience we develop. No, who benefits from it. No, and this idea of resilient being questioned as well. No, so for the Filipinos, no, we are all often thought about as resilient, but sometimes we are also tired of being thought about as resilient because uh, we want the government to also do its work, right? So when we talk, next slide please. So when we talk about the how to build urban resilience, no, so there are many urban resilient pathways, and in 4B and later, you will talk about this more, no. So I will just go ahead and speed up a little bit, no. So in the book, Crisis Resilient Urban Futures, they have some urban resilience pathways there, no, which include nature-based solutions, no, integrating informal economy, no, to our resilience actions, using big data, no, creating partnerships, no, as important aspect of resilience building. Next slide. So there are important characteristics, no, of resilience, no. So here we talk about this idea of persistent, adaptable, inclusive, integrated, reflexive, and transformative, no. So this idea of redundancy, no, as being important, no. So when we design system, it should have redundancy, no, so that when one part breaks down, no, it will still be able to function. It needs to be diverse and adaptable, no. It needs to have shared ownership, no. The more people having ownership of our city or our resilience building project, no, the higher the chances of it being uh, successful, no. It should bring together many practices, no, in terms of its integration, all our departments, no, and all our sectors. Again, reflexive or learning is an important part of resilience building. So we will only be resilient if we learn, no, from our experience, no. We'll learn from the experience of others as well, no. This is reflexive thinking. And then transformative, no, is basically not just settling on what we are now, no, but doing changes that will evolve or transform the system that we are working on to become better, no. And that's the next slide basically, no. uh, We need to think about how to turn crisis to opportunity. This idea of bouncing forward. We don't want disaster to happen. But sometimes that is a trigger for positive change or transformative change. Again, you can do transformative resilience or transformative change without a drastic disaster. But it needs to be work. It needs to be the goal. Is to transform the undesirable state of our cities. Towards something much better. And in the Philippines, we saw this in our experience of many disasters, including the Yolanda 2013 experience. Next slide, please. And then here in the last slide, sorry. We are reminded to think about resilience as part of our transformation to a net positive, sustainable future. So we want to build our cities to regenerate ecosystem services, reconnect people and environment, and restore humanity to produce positive impacts for our common and sustainable future. So that's the end of my presentation this afternoon. Apologies for some technical mishaps. In my screen, it's still not moving, but hopefully everyone get the benefit of seeing the PowerPoint.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. F, for that really very reflective talk about resilience in theory and also what the evolving concept of resilience is about. So I think we have to head straight with our next discussion, equally interesting, and very provocative. So it would be my honor, to introduce our next speaker. Can we reshare the slide? Thank you very much. Professor Wu Zhu Shang, I hope I pronounce it properly, is the professor of urban and rural planning and a supervisor of master's and doctoral students. His research focuses on the discovery of urban laws and the construction of intelligent city models and overall architecture of the City AI International Simulation Platform, human AI planning methods, and the theory of planning and design and its pedagogy. He is an academician of the Chinese Academy of Engineering, an academician of the German National Academy of Engineering, and the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences, and an honorary fellow of the American Institute of Architects. He serves as a chief scientist of the Yangtze River Delta Urban Agglomeration Intelligent Planning Collaborative Innovation Center, a member of the State Council Academic Degrees Committee, and chairman of the Teaching Steering Subcommittee for Urban and Rural Planning, and the convener of the World Urban Planning Education Network, the chairman of the Supervisory Board of the Urban Planning Society of China, and the vice president of the Chinese Society for Urban Studies. He was the chief planner of the Shanghai World Expo 2010 Park and the chief planner of the Qingdao 2014 International Horticultural Exposition Park and the chief planner of the overall urban design plan for Beijing's subcenter. Okay, without further ado, we have Prof. Wu Xingdao. Take it away, Prof.
Hello everyone. It's an honor to be here. My name is Xuan Yan. Actually, I'm here to kind of represent Professor Wu Zhiqiang to give you the presentation about the Chinese way of thinking about urban resilience. So, because Professor Wu is in central government holding a ceremony meeting, so he told me to give this presentation. I hope that's also make sense to you. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay. I hope you. Is it okay? Can you see the screen? Sorry.
Yes, we can see it, but
Okay.
it's still not
Okay.
on
Okay.
presentation mode.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So now it is okay. Yeah. Okay. It's a pleasure for me to give the
Sorry,
presentation.
it's still not in presentation mode.
I share it as a presentation mode, but is it a delay or?
I think it might be that you're sharing the slides of the presentation rather than the presentation mode on the screen.
Okay, maybe I do the sharing again. So
with some technical difficulties, if there are questions and clarifications, for example, from the previous presentation and for the presentation, you may really chat it down so that we may be able to answer to those later on. I hope everything works well now. Go ahead.
is it okay?
Yes, it's better now. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So technical problem. Always. So the presentation's title is From Living System to Institutionalized Resilience, Data Practice and Partnerships for Cities in a Changing World. And actually, the presentation contains 4 parts. Part 1 is a city is a living organism. A resilient city is not a city with growth. And so here we have our team kind of break cities into 4 types. The first one, type 1, we call it fragile city. It's a city unable to withstand major shocks and ultimate driven to collapse by external disasters. So you can see we give an example here, Pompeii. And we have also the type 2 city we call survival city. It means a city that survives major shocks but fails to learn and adapt after disaster. So also we give example here in the USA, and I think people are familiar with this. We go to the next type. Type 3 is a learning city. So a city can really learn from the disasters and to put the experience and the information knowledge to their governance capacity and long-term resilience management. So here we put Tangshan in China, like on your left hand and also right hand on the slide, Wenchuan. There is a big disaster in 2008, and this kind of city, they can learn from the disaster so they can turn into their experience afterwards. And we can also have the last type, it's called intelligent city. So here we give example of Amsterdam, because Amsterdam it's a low-lying city and it's a comprehensive planning and governance system. So we call it intelligent, which means that the city can translate learning into the governance and also the long-term resilience management later. So here is a professor's core idea about resilient city. It means that it can make cities to be intelligent and resilient because cities are organisms that can sense, for example, the sense to sense the disasters and to sense the changes and judge and to respond to, and finally to learn from these disasters and things happening in cities with machine learning methods, also the impacts and shocks. So the part two is that Professor Wu always said that if there is no data, there is no resilience. So we should also also learn to really connect all the data from city level and to really monitor how city are changing. So here is what we do in our team. We have this so-called comprehensively expand the intelligent mining of 6 dimensions of data. First one is we have 5 basic spatial dimension data, also plus 7 extended data topics. For example, we have like stories in something are in Chinese. For example, we have data with 30,861 cities worldwide data, and 90% of the data covers the whole world, which means every city in the world. And we have also the longest data time, 1,000 years, and we can see from the right top one that the data after the year 2000 increased rapidly. And we also need to also pay attention to the accuracy of data, because it's the way that we can really rely on the data. And also we have a high frequency of the data, and we connect the last one is speed. We connect the data in a very high speed. And next slide means it is the how to say the application in platform data platform. We use it for our team for our research. So it's an integrated data platform. We have this customized boundaries. These are available on demand. We have the million level data indexed in million seconds. So that means it's very fast. And we got this digital urban foundation based on these data. So we have the point cloud data connection and also centimeter level reasoning to restore the texture of the city. And we have also the other asset information very important in our city. Based on these dimensions, we can do very quick and very precise city intelligence simulation. This is how we do our work in tiny city. And here I would like to share with you an example in Jinhua, Zhejiang province in China called Jinhua simulation. We have this so-called multi-agent dialogue combining the LLM and genetic algorithm to improve our simulation accuracy and diversity. Here is how we kind of distribute a different role agent to, for example, director of environmental protection department from the side. We also have like people who from the state developer side director. So what their emotion, what their primary emotion, like when there is a disaster or there is an emergency happened in the city level. So we have also this kind of simulation. And we also, the part 3 of the whole presentation is that we say resilience is a system design. So it's not like simple action, or it's like not like a simple strategy. We need to think it as a systematic way. Also an example from our team in Beijing. So you can see that there is the site information. So in the yellow circle is our site, and in a developed area. And before we do the resilience design or resilience urban planning, we to the pain points, what the people really care, like of 500 people, and we connected their points, their perspective, their comments, their way of thinking into consideration before we really do the resilience plan. And based on that, we found that 52% of people, their concern is about flood. So that is basically our, starting point in this program, this planning program. So this the site it's really like the confluence of 9 rivers. So which means that it makes sense that people are caring about the flood season, and we need to deal with that in the future plan. So here is we have to deal with storage, which based on the natural terrain, rely on wetland park to create flood retention and storage area. We also have a midstream diversion. We also have the dumping. We also have another thing is ecological ring. Sorry. Okay, I will continue. So here is what we do. We are on the basis of ensuring safety. So people are caring about flood. So we ultimately selected or join a plan with the lowest cost of money and for money, and also as well as nature. So that we do. And this is what, like after plan, after construction, what does it look of Tongzhou, the case? And people really enjoy that. And so when we go back to the flat perspective. So here I give 2 examples, which on the right hand is Mentogo district. It's also part of Beijing, and on the left hand is our district. So in the year 2024, say of August, there is a lot of rain, but in the Mentogo district, which we don't do the plan, there is a flood. But after our plan, after the construction of the urban plan, we conduct. So in the Tongzhou district on the right hand, people are not affected by the flood, and everything went smoothly. And here we also care about people's, and he also care about the people's living in this area. So we create a 15-minute walking radius and also 5-minute walking radius, and we want to really improve the living standard in that area. And it turns out that most people are like the place that we create in the place. So here are some pictures of what we have done. After what we have done, the place has changed a lot into a very livable place. And we also got some very good ones from social media, from the Chinese Red Book, Xiaohongshu, also from King X and X, Twitter and Facebook. So people are enjoying the place a lot. The part 4 is the last part of the presentation. It's the shared capacity makes resilience last. So here we have I give you the information that the International Council of Academics of Engineering and Technology Science, which we have the which we call which is located in China, and we have 33 member academics wide, and we have more than 22,000 actions in this included in this case. So what we do with case is that we divide the dimensions that the academics are majoring into 12 directions. For example, in urban embrace mix, in also like build urban mechanical engineering, and also urban transport engineering. So these 12 directions means the so-called the urban system engineering, urban systematic engineering system, and we have this more than 22,000 extensions which work in the dimensions in the world. And sorry, we have something that we have done. First one is that humidity test resilient cities, and we have also the directions of academicians that we work so close with to deal with this dimension. And we have also the breakthrough 2 cities facing compounds of Wi-Fi flood disasters, also related to the also the environmental and economic engineering directions of out of the 12 dimensions, and we also work with, for example, here academics in different countries to focus on this dimension. And we have, so the third part is climate vulnerable heritage cities. It's also a type of cities with very rich and valuable heritage, but also are facing with a lot of resilience or challenges or disasters. So we also work closely with at least 10 academicians from different countries, from case to deal with these problems. So in the end, we hope you enjoy the whole presentation, and also here we put some information from our website, and you can scan and you can find more maybe useful or related information about resilient cities from our side. So that's all for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think we are experiencing some technical glitches now when it comes to the sound. But anyway, this presentation will also be shared, and every information that you've seen, will still be um, provided to you. No? So in a nutshell, the presentation provided efforts coming from the different areas, no, from the different cases discussed, no, on how resilience can be built, no, using technology, especially information on the use of big data, and how such, can be an integral part in providing good decisions, and at the same time means to direct solutions, no, especially on a rapidly urbanizing city, such as the different cities that were modeled using the cases that were presented. So again, thank you very much for that very wonderful sharing. Again, if there are questions, if there are clarifications on the particular lecture, kindly direct it to our chat so that we will be able to look into this and then provide you a response, perhaps, no, via email, and can direct this to our lecturers and discussants. Thank you very much. And I
Thanks.
think, okay,
Thank you. Sorry, I also made some technical problem. I cannot share my camera, so sorry for that. But welcome all the questions, and all the we can also discuss later, because I share the code. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So so far there are no questions. But if there are any, no, so maybe on my end, no, as I try to listen, what were the usual challenges that you face, for example, as you implement these different strategies when it comes to uh the different urban problems that is experienced, no, especially in China, on these cases that you presented? Are there like common issues or challenges that the project faced, no? So that our mayor participants might be provided information as well, no, on what they can somehow prepare for, no, in these kinds of implementation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the comment. I think so. I just share about some database. So we have a big database about the city level in the worldwide, different kind of data. So we kind of track, or we kind of follow the all the the disasters or problems that cities are facing in the world from the worldwide perspective. So today, because of the time, we can only share about some experience about the Chinese city, what we do in Chinese cities. But actually, our team have a broad view, like concerning about the world city. We do also some carbon emission control and climate change, including the disasters that are called the earthquake, and also flood I just mentioned, and some other disasters types. So we also do some programs. We also our whole team, we also do a lot of research about the worldwide disasters, and also concerning about world what is happening in the world concerning about climate change, things like that. So because of the time, I just said, so we can only share some of our part of work. So maybe we can discuss later about more things about especially worldwide, or also from the perspective of Asia cities. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I think another important aspect, aside from amassing big data that was provided in the presentation, the critical inputs, no, of the different data systems, no, integrated within our city's operations, no, is the partnership, no, that has been, I think, very critical in this different projects. So were there specific types of partnerships that were looked into? Like, for example, is it a local government or a city and the academe partnership, international organizations? So what were those strategies that these different projects looked into that maybe can open up, several options also for our mayor participants when it comes to resolving their urban challenges?
Sorry, I didn't get that. You said about the worldwide academicians, and because of the technical problem, I didn't get that. So should I
Okay.
respond to that, or just a suggestion? Sorry.
No, it's a question if there are critical forms of partnerships, for example, as you implement these different projects. For example, as you discuss the different cases, were there partnerships between the academe and the city, partnerships with international organization, so that the results, no, will be very much useful, no, for
Yeah.
resolving urban
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah, yeah. So, because today's topic is about resilient cities, so we
Mhm.
we're trying to share about something that is concrete with our
Mhm.
the team's work. And for the network about the academicians in the world about CASE, we really do a lot of work after the CASE office located in Shanghai in the year 2024. So we do a lot of connection with academicians from different, like the 12 dimensions of academicians in the world, and we build a really close like network with them, and we invite some of them, or we already invite some of them go to China to really deal with specific areas problems related to urban resilience. For example, we invite like from the information technology technical perspective dimensions, academician, for example, Lucas Noodles, which is the president now of CATE, from the Netherlands to China a lot of times to discuss a lot of possibilities, and also to go to different type of as I mentioned, four types, to go to different types of Chinese cities and to discuss with the governors, planners, and as well as citizens in the cities to see what their needs are. And we can like maybe search for more possibilities in the future and bring to Asian cities as well as, you know, the worldwide cities to bring this, let's say the more than 20,000 academics into our Asian city strategy or work to deal with the climate change. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, very evident is the partnership with the academe, no? Not just within the local context, no, but at the same time, the international networks that's available. So we can make use of this cutting edge discoveries, perhaps, and technologies that can help us out, no, especially in dealing with our local problems. So gone are the times, no, that we need to do or resolve our problems, no, from our cities in silos. It's really the high time. And I think this very platform, the Asia Pacific Mayors Academy, is a way, to actually widen our perspective, look into the possible networks and partner with them to help resolve the problems that we are experiencing. Okay, so I think
Thank you.
we
Thank you so
can.
much.
Thank you very much. We will be sending our, if there are still some questions, clarifications on the
Please,
presentation, and
please.
the QR codes are here, so you may freely look into it so that you may be directed to the link for a more detailed presentation and information, no, of the cases that were presented. Thank you very much again. Okay, so I think
Thank
we
you.
are
Thank
good.
you.
We are good to go to our next part. So much from the lecture and discussion. No? We are going further to look into your local contextualize perspectives when it comes to the challenges that you're facing. So again, no, after looking into the theories, no, related to resilience, and then looking into the different practices, how they try to resolve the different challenges given the different technologies, strategies that they have, we want to know, we want to hear from you. What are the common problems, issues, and concerns that you are experiencing within your city, within your communities. So I think we still have the next slide for to ask more or less the same questions that were provided to you last time, at the end of module 3. So the first glance challenge looks into identifying the probable impacts of climate change in your city. So of course, climate change is a global event, a global condition that we need to respond to. So what are the contextual impacts of this? No, I think there were mentions of flooding events, there were mentions of other disasters that had happened. Perhaps you can give more context on your respective cities in a while. And then how did your city respond to such situation? What were the lessons learned? What were the stories? No? So in a short presentation, no, coming from our mayor participants, we will be asking about this experience that you had. And then, was the community response truly resilient? So maybe a question of what type of resilience, no, have this response, no, was able to highlight? Was it really more of economic resilience? Is it institutional? Is it ecological? So something to look into that, or is it encompassing, no, the community resilience aspect? And then, well, what would you do differently today? So, for example, no, these events had happened already. So, what can we still do, given that we still have, the power to decide on things, the power to actually provide more context on how we should deal it, better. Okay, so those are the guide questions that you just need to look into. I will be calling on our mayor participants, and hopefully you'll be freely sharing, your experience, your context, especially in knowing, more of your city, coming from all the participants from this particular discussion. So may I see hands, no? Maybe someone would want to um, volunteer to start. Who wants to share their city experience, based on these questions that we posted last time? Okay, so our good mayor from Nepal, go ahead, Mayor. Do you need to share a slide, or you just going to read through? I
Thank
think
you.
he's just going to read through. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, during the landslides and the floods, our very good rural municipality and coordination with the security forces, diplomats, partners, local communities, and government agencies responded by conducting uh, rescues and evacuation from the affected households, providing temporary shelters, food, drinking water, and relief materials, repairing damaged roads and restoring essential services. Coordinating with the district administration office and professional and federal authorities of essential support, raising the public awareness on disaster preparedness and safety measures.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor. So I got some information. It was a landslide event, am I right? And then some of the key efforts that were done, especially by the local government, is to look into the provision, of essential services, specifically looking into them as the first responder, given that the occurrence of the disaster, and then you have the first responder as the local government unit. And then another important notion that was highlighted is the coordination with other stakeholders. Thank you very much, Mayor. We will be proceeding with the next one. So I'm seeing the hand of our good mayor from Lapu-Lapu City, Mayor Cynthia. Go ahead.
Hi, yes, good afternoon. Yeah,
Good
so
afternoon.
we have the impact of climate change. We see the result of the scarcity of water, no, because we are an island city. And what we did, we institutionalized the water governance through rainwater catchment and water harvesting program. So the objective is to encourage city residents to use nature-based solutions in the dwindling water supply. So we have excess water, rainwater, that resulted to urban flooding. So we are providing incentives to those who are compliant to the rainwater harvesting program. And we have a contest on the best practices of rainwater harvesting catchment among the marginalized and the poor sectors of our society. Then we also give discounts on the real property taxes for those that are certified to be implementing the rainwater harvesting and catchment in their own household or the commercial areas. And then we also encourage and support investment for desalination and water treatment plants for bulk water supply for the city, industry, and the tourism sector. So, was the community response truly resilient? All strategies are now on their third year of implementation, and more are participating because of the incentive system. Then more and more participants are joining the program from the lower and middle class of society due to all government and society approach in its implementation. But what would I do differently? The city is finalizing a proposal to create an office that specifically focuses on water scarcity concerns to ensure sustainability of the city government initiatives. Then this water office will be under the office of the mayor, wherein it will have its own staff, budget, and technical expertise to undertake all initiatives that tackles the scarcity of water in our city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very short and sweet as well, no? What I got, no, from the first glance challenge, no, coming from our good mayor from Lapu-Lapu City is that the aspect of climate change, specifically on how it impacts water in terms of scarcity and institutionalization of water catchment, no, not just in terms of policy. This is very creative, no, providing incentives. No, most of our policies no really looks into um, providing disincentive, no, but at the same time, no, you can look into the other side, no, the positive reinforcement, no, on the different activities that we can all gather positive responses, no. So NBS, no, we'll be talking about more of that by next meeting, but this is a good practice already, and looking into and incentivizing not just the marginalized sector, no, as you can see, we can also expect, no, from the business sector and all other sectors that's really working together, no, towards building, no, a more resilient water environment, perhaps, no, for the city, and institutionalizing not just in terms of policy, no, but even putting up a physical space, no, an office that will directly tackle, no, the concern, especially on water. No, can you kind of give no a warm applause no to our first two presenters? No, we have the good mayor from Nepal and the good mayor from Lapu-Lapu City. Congratulations po for the first glance challenge. No, I think we have the next one. No, I saw a raised hand from the mayor of Makati City, our good mayor, Mayor Nancy. Go ahead
Yes,
po.
and good afternoon again to everyone. I will not be opening my video because my connection is a bit bad. Okay, so for Makati, we have also observed climate change, the growing impact of climate change, particularly with more intense rainfall, urban flooding, and extreme heat. We have observed some areas which were not previously flood prone are now experiencing flooding during heavy rainfalls. So this reflects how climate change and rapid urbanization are reshaping our city's risk profile. So one defining event is the Typhoon Ondoy. So this one, Makati is less affected than other neighboring cities, but it still affected us. And following Typhoon Ondoy, Makati shifted from simply responding to disasters to actively, proactively building climate resilience. So we strengthened our flood control and drainage systems, enhanced disaster preparedness, and early warning mechanism. We also explored other alternatives. Example is the climate risk financing. We explored the cat band or catastrophe band and parametric insurance as well, because we know that money is not infinite, so we need more resources, even if we have the more resources than the other LGUs. But we think that it is best. Resilience is really a very costly for local government. So we need to think outside the usual financing of the local governments and actually look into other types of innovative financing. So this is one thing that we are actually looking into, the parametric insurance and the catastrophe bands. Then in terms of reporting, we actually look into the local stock-take. If you are familiar with the global climate stock-take that they're doing, now they are shifting into the local stock-take or town hall reporting. And I think this is a very good idea. And we have actually started this one as well. We get feedback from the communities. And then we also reciprocate what we are doing in terms of climate and disasters. And then for the next one is that for what would we do differently today? So since I am a first-time mayor and this is a very highly urbanized city, I am still learning technicalities of cities resilience. So this is why I was motivated to join the academy, saying that if I were to do something different, I would begin by placing people even more firmly at the center of our resilience agenda. Because Makati is very digital or technical. So we already have the infrastructure. Now we wanted to place more resources to the people. With that, we'll also look into even greater emphasis on anticipatory and climate-informed resilience as climate risk continues to evolve. And I'm happy and encouraged that Makati's efforts are already gaining international recognition. Makati is named alongside Paris, France, as one of the global winners of the World Wildlife Fund One Planet City Challenge this year, just recently. I think this last week is the recognition. So this is actually a good recognition as well as being the first resilience hub of UNRR. So I think we're on the right track on resiliency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, our good mayor from Makati City, Mayor Nancy. Um, there are a lot of information provided by Mayor Nancy on the impacts of climate change in a highly urbanized setting in the Philippines, such as having intense rainfall, urban flooding, and the different strategies that they use. So first, looking into the infrastructure, or looking into flood control and drainage system, improving on those, but not just looking into that, looking into early warning system, risk financing, and at the same time, no, I really like the idea of putting the people at the center of every decision making. So some of the strategies that you can actually do is the local stock taking that they are doing to have no direct feedback coming from our community. What works, what don't, what can we do better, and so on. So thank you very much for that, and congratulations for the recent accolade for the city of Manila. Okay, I see another hand now from our good mayor from Pakistan. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you. I have joined from two devices because of the connectivity issues. So am I audible to you now?
Yes, yes, you are. Go ahead, mayor.
So regarding my experience in Central Orgzai, we are increasingly witnessing the impacts of climate change through irregular rainfall, flash floods, landslides, and damage to rural infrastructure. So, one major event involved intense monsoon rains that disrupted road connectivity and affected access to several communities. So, the immediate response relied on coordination between local authorities, communities, and volunteers to restore access, and provide emergency support, including religious scholars and youth as well. So, while these efforts addressed urgent needs, they also showed that we need stronger long term resilience efforts that addressed urgent needs and long term resilience efforts as well. So, today, I would focus on integrating climate resilience into local planning, strengthening early warning systems, investing in resilient infrastructure, and enhancing community participation, especially among young people. So, building resilience is not only about responding to disasters, it is about to preparing our communities to adopt, recover, and continue developing and grow sustainably. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for a good mayor from Central Oraksa. So some key points that were highlighted, same similar challenge on the climate change issue of intense rain, providing difficulty when it comes to accessing our communities, especially those that are directly affected. Coordination, no, is among the key roles, no, and strategies that is being forwarded here to provide emergency support, no, but with the highlight, no, especially of our youth and our religious scholars. So very good on looking into these active members, no, of our community, which can directly provide support, especially on those kinds of events. And then community participation, again, no, as highlighted earlier on, people, no, as the central part, no, of the management when it comes to disaster, no, is very critical. So if we can still continue to invest, no, that would be one opportunity, no, and a strategy that we can continuously hold through, so that our management, no, of the different impacts of climate change and any forms of disaster will be very good. Okay, so let me ask again, no, for a virtual applause to our next two presenters, no, our good mayor from Makati City and our mayor from the Central Orakzai. Okay, so may I hear from the next set, no, of our mayor participants who wants to go next, no, or shall I call? Who maybe I can try to direct the next presenter to be our mayor participant from Kendari City in Indonesia. Hopefully you're able to unmute, sir. Mention is our good mayor from Kendari City. Yeah, okay, I think already. Okay, go ahead,
Thank you,
Mayor.
Dr. Ed, for the opportunity. So, what is the impact of the climate change in Kendari City is the hydrometeorological disasters that causing flooding, frequent flooding in the residences throughout the city. And in recent years, our city measurement is to construct um, uh, retention pond, you know what I mean? To kind of like penetrate the runoff of the water that can block the flooding to be happen in the several particular residences in the city. And that was one of the best measurement that we can take for preventing the more wider casualties or damages because of the flooding. And the citizens really like accustomed to this measurement, because they try to support the city government by like providing the lands if the retention pond like pass through their territory, so they kind of like voluntarily give that several or particular lands to be built by the retention pond. And also like when the floods came, and then they voluntarily um like assembly in several particular points. They try to help the others to you know to get the emergency aid or something like that. So that's the uh, experience that Kendari City has uh, in recent years because of the flooding. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much from our good mayor on Kendari City. So what I got from his first glance challenge of the situation in the city is that the impacts of climate change, specifically on flooding events, and that one of their strategies to somehow manage this is through the use of retention ponds. But at the same time, there were some challenges on integrating it to the urban landscape. And good maybe success story that is being communicated is that the locals where these retention ponds are actually cutting across is very much coordinated, uh, positively coordinating with them. They are providing this space for the use of managing the flood waters. It is very challenging, no, especially for other areas. No, maybe for Kendari City, it's very good. No, that people are really very much aware of the probable impacts of the retention pond to them in managing the flood. But for other countries, no, perhaps it would be a challenge to really put forward community goals when it comes to flood management than their personal properties, no, because these are cutting across spaces that might be having cultural value or social and economic impacts on their livelihood perhaps, no, but it's a good idea, the evolving strategies that we can do for the purpose of managing the different kinds of disaster that might occur in our area. So thank you very much again to our good mayor from Candare City. Can I hear from our next one? I think hopefully our good mayor from the city of Iloilo is available and can share their first glance challenge. Is our good mayor from Iloilo here or a representative perhaps? Okay, Mayor Raisa will be presenting in a while. So perhaps we can proceed with the next one first, before Mayor Raisa. Maybe she is preoccupied as of the moment. Can I ask the municipality of Pilar from our good Mayor Jess?
Yes, sir. Good
Go
afternoon.
ahead. Good
Here in
afternoon.
Pilar, yes po. Here in Pilar, how can we identify the climate impacts in our municipality is our area by observing changes in weather patterns and disaster risk, such as stronger typhoons, flooding, storm surge, coastal erosion, drought, and water supply problems. These impacts affect communities, livelihoods, infrastructure, health, and tourism as well. We also use hazard maps, weather forecasts, and community reports to guide our assessment and preparedness action. So, how did our municipality responded to the situation? The municipality of Pilar responded through preparedness, coordination, and community action. We monitored hazards, issued advisories, coordinated with the barangay captains, prepared evacuation areas, stockpiled supplies, and conducted trainings. We also supported activities like mangroves growing, rescue Olympics, coastal cleanups, and DRRM planning to help make our communities more resilient to climate change impacts. So, was the community response truly resilient? Yes, our community response showed resilience because people cooperated here in Pilar. We prepared and participated in disasters preparedness and responsive activities. However, resilience still needs to be strengthened since some areas remain vulnerable to climate related hazards and limited resources also. So, what would we do differently today is I would we would focus more on early preparedness, strong community awareness, better data gathering, and long-term climate adaptation. I would also ensure that vulnerable sectors are included in planning and the barangays are better equipped before disasters happen. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor Jess, our good mayor from Pilar. So again, still same issue on climate change. An island municipality or part of the island group of Siargao facing problems
Yes.
on stronger typhoons, storm surge, drought, and water supply, and its consequent or eventual impact on the socioeconomic conditions, no, of our local people. And then they were, as a strategy, using risk maps, putting forward preparedness, coordination, and support for longer term activities, making things more interactive and community driven. So I'm seeing a lot of efforts, when it comes to mangroves, no, and putting our barriers, natural barriers, and at the same time, continuously training the people. Continued vulnerability of some areas still persists, no, but what they can do better or look forward in the coming future is to do early preparation, community awareness, and adaptation. So thank you very much. So again, a warm applause to our two mayor presenters for that. No? So our mayor from Candare City and our mayor from the municipality of Pilar. So thank you very much. So I think we are down to our next presenter. So feel free to unmute yourself if you are not yet called. So I think our good mayor from Iloilo City, and then which one is left? From India? Can we hear from them? From our 8 mayor participants who are here. Is it still possible to hear the sharing? Okay, so while we wait for our other mayor participants to be available to share their first glance challenge, so let me just walk you through on our next activity, which is for module 4B. So this is not another assignment, no, but reaffirmation, no, of what has been mentioned by Kurt, no, earlier during the opening remarks. No, you have your final initiatives, no, or your final activities that will be presented, no, or hopefully that will be implemented as well in your respective cities. So what we want you to do, no, in our module 4B as part of our forum, is to really look into the idea of making use of what you've learned, from the module 4, and then applying those, no, not necessarily entirely, no, as part of your project initiative, but having that lens. For example, among the activities is creating more awareness in climate change and the probable disasters in your respective locality by training the people, capacitating them, and so on and so forth. So those are the things, no, that we can actually look forward, no, for us to be able to ensure that you are able to capture both all the what you've learned from module 4 in your final initiative. So I think our good mayor from Iloilo City is now ready. So maybe we can put back a little, we can put back the slide on the questions so that our good mayor from Iloilo City can share the output.
Yes, good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Yes, so first, for the questions, how well can you identify climate change impacts in your city? So, climate change impacts in Iloilo City can be identified effectively because the city has emphasized the importance in establishing baseline data through climate risk assessments and primary data collection in order to guide hazard monitoring and disaster planning. These are all supported by strong institutional coordination. The city conducted a comprehensive climate disaster risk assessment in 2020, and with the support of USAID, this assessment identifies climate related hazards, their potential impacts on people and property, and vulnerabilities and capacities of communities. A key strength of the city is its use of technologies and facilities to gather primary data and support quick decision making. The city Iloilo City Action Resilience Centers, strategically located across the city, improves hazard monitoring and emergency response through decentralizing risk governance. Hazard sensors, including automated weather stations and early warning devices linked with Pag-asa, DOST, and Manila Observatory and Weather Philippines, provide real-time weather and hazard data that serve as basis for the early warnings and timely action. The city's CCTV network also provides real-time monitoring of major roads and high-risk areas, helping authorities quickly detect and respond to emergency. In addition, Iloilo City's existing local plans provide clear baselines and guide climate resilient efforts. Such as plans include that local climate change action plan, the Iloilo City disaster risk reduction management strategic plan, and barangay DRRM strategic plans. These initiatives are supported by the Iloilo City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, which leads risk reduction planning, coordination, and policy making in the city. So, the one major impact that from climate change happened in the past, the major impact is the devastating typhoon that ever hit Iloilo City June 18, 2008. With Typhoon Frank, where flash floods devastated almost the entire district of Haro. Classified as a public storm signal number 3, the typhoon damaged millions worth of properties and claimed hundreds of lives as floods washed away homes, possessions, and drowned residents in the low-lying areas. I myself was able to experience this, and we were evacuated at the roof of our house because of this typhoon. Typhoon Frank affected a total population of 250,000 total and households of 50,000 and claimed lives of 28 people in the city. This caused $16 million damages to residential buildings, motor vehicles, and a total of $10 million on damages on infra and $3 million total damages in the economy. How did our city respond to the situation? We were able to do relief operations, water deliveries for the loss of potable water in households, DRRM institutionalization, the creation of the CDRRM office, the relocation of our informal settlers, and the completion of the Haro Floodway, our flood control project in partnership with JICA. The community's response is truly resilient because Iloilo City considered long-term solutions like our Haro Floodway. As you can see, that is our Haro Floodway. And shifted the RRM response towards more proactive initiatives. Today, what are we doing differently? So now we're doing an adopt a green, blue, gray framework. Iloilo City can build flood resilience by integrating nature-based solutions with engineered infrastructure, increase on relying on the drainage canals. Instead of relying on the drainage canals and floodways, the city combines green infrastructure. As you can see in the pictures, those are mangroves all over our Iloilo River, and blue infrastructure and gray infrastructure to manage storm water more effectively. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our good mayor from the city of Iloilo. So what I took from the presentation, very good for making use of our presentation guide. So they provided the information on baseline data gathering. So very important for you to be able to provide good risk information in terms of quick decision making. Early warning systems combined with technology is very much helpful, and internalizing the aspect of DRR and CCA into planning and policy making. So they really try to mainstream that in their different planning documents, which actually resulted to the crafting of several projects and programs that are very much relevant. One very good example would be the one that is on our screen, the internalization of the green, blue, and gray infrastructure, altogether creating a more resilient Iloilo City for that matter. Thank you very much, Mayor Raisa. I think we are joined again by another two. We are left with two more mayor participants. So may I hear from our good mayor from India? Are you available to talk and share your first glance challenge? If not, we can proceed perhaps with another mayor participant from the Philippines, from the city of Bacoor. Mayor, are you available to share your first glance challenge? To answer this,
Hello,
yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, Mayor, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Attorney Carlo Pao, representing Mayor Strike Revilla in the city of Bacoor. First of all, my apologies for the disconnection. We've been experiencing poor internet connectivity recently, so I've been going in and out of the sessions, but I hope our internet's know better so I can share regarding the first class challenge is that the impact of climate change has been great in the city of Bacoor simply because we're a coastal city and any event of impacts on increase of rainfall and sudden surge of water would affect the city of Bacolod, the mountain side of the province of Cavite, that would easily pour down towards the side of the city. And go rivers in Bacoor, that thus creating additional impact to water infrastructure. So when our all waterways and waterways facilities that would uh services department, and recently with the ongoing partnerships with different NGOs, ways to improve our current mechanisms that would improve waste management facilities, water treatment facilities, and improvement of access to cleaner water. Us to city of Bacoor. And with the question as to was the community truly resilient, I believe yes. The community has been resilient, especially with the recent downpour of water. We've noticed that there is an improvement of our community engagement, and the city government through its departments and communications with the barangays and other stakeholders in the city, there was less impact regarding the waterways in the city of Bacoor. And how would I do it differently? Maybe we should continue on the stakeholders engagement, simply because they have a more advanced and technical expertise in improving how we should improve our waterways, waste management, and other issues that may arise from the impacts of climate change. And I do hope that it will be finalized soon by the city government and the city Sangguniang Panglungsod, together with our future partners that will be collaborating. And I believe in a few months' time, we'll be able to start these programs and engagements with CSOs, NGOs, and other stakeholders here in the city government of Bacoor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, the representative from our good mayor from the city of Bacoor. So what I took from the sharing was about the flooding event impacting the quality of their water resource. And among the common problem is, of course, the safety of the water use. And one of the strategies is a water treatment facility providing improved access to clean water for all. And a very relevant that was shared is the collaboration effort. It's not just a one-man team, not just the local government unit, but emphasizing on other stakeholders, CSO, in achieving a good result towards the improvement of the life conditions, perhaps of the whole city. Okay, I think we are down to our last mayor presenter. So if so, maybe we can just expect an email for the first glance challenge of our from our mayor participant in India. Now let me just call in one of my colleagues to provide you a short background on what will happen for module 4B. Now, as we navigate that on July 21, 2026. May I ask Dr. Maria Catriona de Vanadera, professor at the Department of Community Environmental Resource Planning, to share some insights and exciting news for Module 4B. Go ahead, Doc Iona.
So thank you very much, Dr. Edgar. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be joining you in this afternoon. So for July 21st, we will be talking about the building environmental resilience, so climate change and urban infrastructure resilience, the local adaptation. So we will have the team gathering at 10:45, and of course have the welcome remarks from the Deputy Chief. We'll also have the lecture of Mr. Oliver Agoncillo of the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity on mainstreaming nature-based solutions for resilience building. Another lecture or talk is by Engineer Sean Ligvet from the Department of Science and Technology, Davao Region, talking about the low carbon climate actions and resilient city. So we will have the best practices and challenges on nature-based solutions by Doc Casper and I. And then, of course, the Mayor's Forum or the Integration of Resilience in the Mayor's Initiatives. So we will be looking forward to have you on July 21st. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Iona, for a very short reminder for our 4B module on July 21st. So keep that in mind. So what we need to do as part of the assignment now is start crafting your mayor initiative, your final initiative, and hopefully from the first glance challenge, no, some of those efforts no, will be directly tackling those problems, challenges, and solutions that you actually already provided. Okay, so are you all excited for Module 4B? But before that, let me just introduce very shortly Dr. Jing Yu. She is the Deputy Chief of Bangkok Multi-Country Program Office of UN Habitat. She holds a PhD in Cartography and Geographic Information System from the Chinese Academy of Sciences and completed her postdoctoral research in urban planning in Tongji University. Her academic background also includes master's degree in economics with specialization in real estate from the Capital University of Economics and Business and a Bachelor of Arts in Beijing University. She has published several professional books and authored over 30 academic papers. Since joining the Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development in 2003, she has held key leadership roles. This include serving as the Director General of the Information Center and Vice Director General of the Urban and Rural Planning Management Center. She has led major national projects, including China's first national housing census and initiatives utilizing high-resolution remote sensing for urban water management, quality management. Her contributions have been pivotal in advancing China's urban planning strategies and promoting sustainable development. Her leadership has been recognized with numerous accolades, including the prestigious National March 8 Red Flag Pace Setter Award by the All China Women's Federation, highlighting her exemplary role as female leader. Her commitment to sustainable, resilient urban development continues to shape both the national and international efforts for fostering inclusive and sustainable communities. I think Dr. Jing Yu has good news for everyone, especially on the culmination of our Asia Pacific Mayors Academy. Take it away, Dr. Jing Yu.
Thank you. Thank you for the floor. Good afternoon, honorable mayors, distinguished professors, and their partners of the Asia Pacific Mayor Academy. Before we close today's session, I would like to take a moment to share some exciting news regarding the APMA 2026 graduation ceremony. First of all, I would like to thank all participating mayors for your continued commitment and achieved engagement throughout the academy. We greatly appreciate the time and effort you have invested in the program and in developing initiatives for your cities. We are pleased to announce that APMA 2026 graduation ceremony is currently planned to take place in China in late October and earlier November 2026 in conjunction with two major international urban events, the SDG City Global Conference in Shanghai and the Global Observance of World City Days in Fuzhou. As a part of the program, we will organize the APMA 2026 graduation ceremony to celebrate your achievements and successfully finish your academic. We're also planning the site session where graduation mayors will have the opportunity to present the initiative you have delivered. In addition, we will exploring a range of the activities alongside the graduation ceremony, including peer learning exchanges, networking opportunities, and site visits to encourage further dialogue and collaboration among fellow mayors, academic partners, and other international stakeholders. At this stage, we would encourage you to save a period in your calendars. Further detail and a formal invitation will be shared once the program arrangements are finalized. Finally, I would like to share a reminder that graduation qualification requires attendance of at least 75% of the academic module and the submission of your initiative. Will encourage all participants to continue engaging actively in the program and advancing your initiative as we move forward, final stage of the academic. We look forward to celebrate your achievement and welcome you to China later this year. Thank you, and we'll look forward to see you again in Module 4B. Thank you. Back to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jinyo. Again, very exciting news for everyone. So we are very much hoping, no, for all your final outputs, no, and see you perhaps in China, no, in the coming months. No? So I think we are down to our last slide. Thank you very much, no, for your active participation for Module 4A, and we are hoping, no, that you will be here again and actively participating for the July 21st, 2026 Module 4B implementation. Again, have a nice day, everyone. Keep safe, stay resilient, and see you on July 21. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.